Hi, I'm Advocate Aditi Sharma from the Institute of Legal and Management Studies. In today's session, we will discuss top 10 myths surrounding India's new labor codes. India's labor law landscape has undergone its most sweeping transformation in decades. The government consolidated 29 separate labor statutes into 4 comprehensive codes, covering wages, industrial relations, social security, and occupational safety. This is an enormous change. But with big change comes big confusion. And where there is confusion, myths thrive. Across corporate offices, HR forums, LinkedIn discussions, and even mainstream media, misinformation about the new labor codes has spread rapidly. Some employees believe their salaries will automatically be cut. Some employers think they now have unrestricted power to hire and fire. Some workers assume gig platforms now owe them full PF and ESIC benefits. In this video, we take each of these myths head-on, one by one, and replace them with the actual statutory facts. Whether you are an HR professional, a salaried employee, a business owner, or simply a curious learner, this session will give you the clarity you need to navigate this evolving framework with confidence. Let us begin. Before we address the myths, let us quickly establish the foundation. What exactly are the 4 new labor codes? India's government consolidated 29 separate labor laws into 4 comprehensive codes. Understanding these 4 codes is essential before evaluating any claim about what they do or do not allow. The first is the Code on Wages, 2019. This covers minimum wages, timely payment of salaries, and introduces a unified definition of wages applicable to all employees, formal and informal alike. The second is the Industrial Relations Code, 2020. This governs union recognition, collective bargaining, rules around strikes and lockouts, and the procedures for layoffs, retrenchment, and industrial dispute resolution. The third is the Social Security Code, 2020. This is perhaps the most wide-reaching. It unifies Provident Fund, ESIC, gratuity, and maternity benefits under one framework, and notably extends coverage to gig and platform workers for the first time. The fourth is the Occupational Safety, Health, and Working Conditions Code, also enacted in 2020. This sets unified standards for workplace safety, working hours, rest periods, and welfare provisions across sectors. Together, these 4 codes represent the most significant overhaul of India's labor framework since independence. And with that context, let us now dismantle the myths. Let us tackle our first 2 myths. Myth number 1, the new labor codes reduce employee take-home salary permanently. This is one of the most widespread fears, and it is partly misunderstood. Here is the reality: the impact on take-home salary is not uniform and not necessarily negative in the long run. What has changed is the definition of wages. Under the new code, at least 50% of an employee's total remuneration must be counted as core wages, the base for calculating PF and gratuity. This means employers who previously inflated allowances to keep basic pay low and thus PF contributions low now have to restructure. For some employees, this does feel like a short-term reduction in enhanced salary. But they are simultaneously building a larger Provident Fund corpus and higher gratuity entitlement. It is a structural shift, not a permanent cut. Verdict on myth 1, partially true but widely misunderstood. Myth number 2, corporates can now make employees work 12 hours a day without any restrictions. This is simply false. The Occupational Safety, Health and Working Conditions Code retains clear daily and weekly working hour limits. Overtime pay requirements remain. Rest intervals and weekly offs are still mandatory. Any arrangement for extended hours requires explicit worker consent and must comply with statutory overtime rates. There is no blank check for employers here. Verdict on myth 2, false. Myth number 3, the codes give full control to employers and take away workers' rights. This misconception often comes from reading headlines about employer flexibility in isolation. The truth is more balanced. The Industrial Relations Code preserves union recognition, collective bargaining rights, and the right to strike, while streamlining how disputes are resolved. Employers who want to lay off or retrench workers in establishments above a certain threshold still need government approval and must follow prescribed notice periods and compensation norms. If anything, the codes expand protection. Gig and contractual workers who had no statutory coverage now have formal rights for the first time. This is not an
Master Labor Laws with ILMS Academy's Expert-led certification course. Become a labor law expert with ILMS Academy's 3-month course. Cover essential topics like Minimum Wages Act, Industrial Relations, and Social Security codes. designed for HR professionals, law students, and labor rights activists. This course offers a comprehensive curriculum and online certification. Learn from industry experts and start your journey. Flexible EMI options available. So enroll now at ILMS Academy.
Erosion of worker rights. It is a reorganization of them. Verdict on myth 3, false. Now, myth number 4, gig and platform workers now get full PF, ESIC, and all traditional social security benefits. This is the flip side of myth 3, an overstatement in the other direction. The Social Security Code 2020 does include gig and platform workers, which is genuinely progressive. But the scope of coverage is contributory and context-specific. Health insurance, pension schemes, and accident coverage may apply, but these are adapted versions, not the same as the full PF and ESIC entitlements enjoyed by permanent employees. And critically, the actual rollout depends entirely on state-level notifications and regulatory guidelines, many of which are still pending. Verdict on myth 4, partially true, but far more nuanced than commonly understood. Myth number 5, contract workers will lose job security under the new codes. This fear is understandable given the broad narrative about employer flexibility, but it is not accurate. The Industrial Relations Code formally structures fixed-term and contract employment, setting out clear rules for tenure limits, termination procedures, and dispute resolution pathways. Contract workers are entitled to minimum wages, social security protections, and occupational safety guarantees. Crucially, employers cannot terminate them arbitrarily. The termination must follow the contract terms and any applicable statutory safeguards. In many respects, contract workers now have more structured protections than they did under the previous fragmented framework. Verdict on myth 5, false. Myth number 6, MSMEs, micro, small, and medium enterprises, are completely exempt from compliance. This is also false, and it is potentially dangerous for small business owners who believe it. The codes do provide threshold-based relaxations. For instance, smaller units may have simplified reporting requirements or phased implementation of social security contributions. But the foundational obligations remain. MSMEs must still pay minimum wages, deposit statutory dues on time, and maintain accurate records. Non-compliance still attracts penalties. The intent is to reduce administrative burden, not to create a compliance-free zone for small businesses. Verdict on myth 6, false. Myth number 7, labor courts will become irrelevant after the new Industrial Relations Code. This is wrong. Labor courts and industrial tribunals are not abolished, they are reformed. The Industrial Relations Code introduces time-bound dispute resolution timelines, digital filing mechanisms, and simplified procedures to reduce the notorious delays in India's labor justice system. But judicial oversight is fully retained. Disputes related to layoffs, strikes, unfair labor practices, and retrenchment are still adjudicated by central or state industrial tribunals. If anything, the process is now more structured and predictable, not sidelined. Workers retain full access to judicial remedies. Verdict on myth 7, false. Myth number 8, all states have already implemented the codes and they are fully operational everywhere. This is one of the most practically important myths to debunk. Labor is a concurrent subject under India's constitution, meaning both the central government and state governments have legislative authority. The codes were enacted centrally, but each state must issue its own notification and frame its own rules before the codes become operative in that state. The reality today is a patchwork. Some states have notified all 4 codes. Others have partially implemented. Several are still working on their rules. This means an employee in one state may have very different statutory entitlements than an employee doing the same job in a neighboring state. Employers operating across multiple states face particular complexity. Always verify your state's notification status. Verdict on myth 8, false. Myth number 9, the codes allow businesses to terminate employees at will. This is false, and it is important to be very clear on this point. The Industrial Relations Code does introduce operational flexibility. For instance, fixed-term employment contracts are now formally recognized, and thresholds for government approval on retrenchment have changed. But flexibility does not mean at-will termination. Mandatory notice periods remain in place. Compensation requirements for retrenchment are codified. For establishments above the prescribed threshold, government approval is still mandatory before closure or large-scale layoffs. And grievance redressal and appeal mechanisms are fully preserved. Any employer who believes the codes allow them to fire employees without process is both factually wrong and legally exposed. Verdict on myth 9, false. Myth number 10, the new codes apply only to the formal workforce, informal workers are left out. This is the opposite of the truth. One of the most significant achievements of the new labor codes is their explicit expansion to include informal, gig, and platform workers. The Social Security Code 2020 is particularly groundbreaking. For the first time, gig workers such as delivery personnel, freelancers, and platform-based professionals are recognized as a distinct category entitled to social protection. Minimum wages and occupational safety protections also extend beyond the formal sector. The codes use digital registration to bring previously unregulated workers into the statutory framework. This is a major step toward formalizing India's vast informal economy. Verdict on myth 10, false. Let us now step back and look at all 10 myths together, side by side. Of the 10 myths we examined, 8 are outright false. 2 are partially true but widely misunderstood or overstated. Myth 1, the idea that salaries are permanently cut, is a misunderstanding of a structural adjustment. Myth 4, that gig workers now get full traditional benefits, is an overstatement of a genuinely progressive but still unfolding provision. The remaining 8 myths, all false. Workers are not losing their rights. Employers cannot fire at will. Labor courts are not being abolished. MSMEs are not exempt. States have not all implemented the codes. And the codes very much apply to informal and gig workers. What this scorecard tells us is that the overwhelming narrative around the new labor codes has been shaped by fear, speculation, and oversimplification, not by reading the statutes. The reality is that the 4 labor codes represent a carefully balanced reform, one that introduces flexibility for employers while simultaneously expanding protections for a broader range of workers. Understanding the facts is not just an academic exercise. For employees, it means knowing your actual rights. For employers, it means avoiding both non-compliance and over-compliance. And for HR professionals, it means being able to answer your workforce's questions with confidence. Now that we have separated fact from fiction, let us talk about what you should actually do with this knowledge. For employees, the first and most important step is to check whether your state has issued notifications under the 4 codes. Your entitlements depend entirely on this. Next, request a detailed salary breakdown from your HR department. Understanding the wage versus allowance split will help you anticipate changes to your PF contributions and take-home pay. And rather than viewing the higher PF deductions negatively, recognize them for what they are, forced savings that build long-term financial security. For employers and HR professionals, start with a payroll audit. Ensure that the basic wage component meets the 50% threshold required under the codes. Review and update employment contracts, particularly for fixed-term and contractual workers. If your business uses gig workers or platform labor, understand your registration and contribution obligations under the Social Security Code. And train your HR teams. They will be the first point of contact for employee questions. For policy observers and legal professionals, keep a close eye on state-level notifications, which are still rolling out unevenly. Monitor how courts interpret the new wage definitions as disputes begin to emerge. And engage with industry associations for sector-specific guidance on phased compliance. The bottom line, the labor codes reward those who engage with them proactively. Ignorance, whether driven by myths or inaction, is the real risk. And with that, we have reached the end of today's session on the top 10 myths about India's new labor codes. Let us close with a quick reality check. 8 of the 10 myths we examined are simply false. 2 are partially true but heavily misunderstood. And 0, not a single one, holds up fully as stated. That is the power of going back to the actual legislation. The new labor codes are not perfect, no law is. There are genuine concerns about the timeline of state-level implementation, the practical rollout of gig worker protections, and the short-term salary impact for some middle-class employees. These are valid and deserve ongoing monitoring and advocacy. But the myths that dominate public discourse, that workers are losing rights, that employees can now act without accountability, that MSMEs are off the hook, or that labor courts are gone, none of these reflect the law as enacted. Knowledge of the law is not just for lawyers. Every HR professional, every salaried employee, every business owner in India has a stake in understanding these codes accurately. That is exactly what ILMS Academy's certificate course in labor laws is designed to help you do. Go beyond the headlines and build a confident, practical understanding of India's labor law framework. The course link is on your screen. We encourage you to explore it. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe for more evidence-based legal education from ILMS Academy. Until next time.